Hi ladies. So I have been doom scrolling, watching countless videos, several content creators on YouTube talking about the degradation of women, how we're viewed and perceived through the male gaze. And I feel like it's gotten worse, even in past years and several generations. There's always been an expectation for a woman to show up, look a certain way, to behave in a certain way. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't necessarily connect or correlate to the woman herself, how she wants to be seen, heard, understood. So I feel called to share my 2 cents and discuss my point of view on a different way of how we can show up for ourselves and tap into our inner goddesses, our essence of ourselves versus the male gaze, right? We can tap into our sensuality and sexuality on our own terms, not what society or a man wants us to look like, to feel desirable. We are in control of that. We are in control of how we want to be perceived and what we deem sexy. Every woman is different, right? One woman could feel sexy in something more provocative, and someone else could present themselves in more of a modest, conservative way, or be a little bit of both. I feel like you can show up in any way you want as long as you feel good about yourself. It is all about what you feel confident and powerful wearing and presenting as yourself. I really want to take this moment to pose a few questions as I have been grappling on my own style identity, understanding the true essence of me and decentering what I think a man wants me to look like or what society wants me to look like as a woman and as a Black woman. I started asking myself these questions. First question is, how do I want to feel in my clothes? What do I define as sexy when I get dressed, when I want to go out on a date, show up as my goddess self? What items of clothing do I feel may be taboo or considered inappropriate in society's eyes, but that I resonate with? And lastly, what female figure do I see as an aspirational representation of what I resonate with? And it helped me understand what I wear, how I dress, how I do my makeup, how I do my hair. It all really ties into my personal brand, my divine essence as a woman, and less about what I think a man will find desirable. Men say that they value authenticity and women who don't try too hard, or women who are beautiful but not vulgar, the girl next door, but have all the assets that they're looking for. But I think what comes down to it is, as long as us women, we feel sexy in whatever it is we're wearing and not taking into account what a man and what society thinks we should be wearing or looking like or presenting as, we will be attracting the individuals in our lives that resonate with our essence, our true selves, and not just an archetype for the masses. And I think that's really important. Prime examples of some public figures I feel represent authenticity and divine femininity. One that comes to mind that I feel is underrated and is not discussed enough is Angela Bassett. She's had a fruitful career. When you look at several shots of her in her movies and public appearances, she has this self-assurance about her without showing a lot of flesh. She doesn't come across as a woman who is dressing, doing her makeup or her hair in a way that helps her get validated from a man or from the industry. It's all about how she feels as a woman, and she stands in her truth, and she presents herself as such. Sade, a woman of the 90s, R&B and jazz. I completely adore her. I love her music and what she represents. She's just simple, effortless, elegant, doesn't show a lot of skin. I think it's all in her aura and her energy and just that softness that she evokes to her audience and through her music. The bold lip, the slick back hair, the minimalist aesthetic that she resonates with. When she does show skin, it's very strategic, right? She focuses on one area of her physique that she finds desirable within herself. You can tell that she is not receiving validation through the male gaze or even through her fans, that sense of self based on how she feels about Diane Keaton. Another example, she's in her 70s, but she looks fabulous and she is iconic. Her style is timeless, but she wouldn't be considered the standard female archetype of an actress and how she's supposed to dress. She gravitates to masculine, androgynous silhouettes and style, but she has this soft feminine charm about her, her demeanor and her disposition. She showcases her feminine and soft side by just little aspects of herself, but she hones in on her use of structure and masculine silhouettes like button downs and top hats and trousers, right? But then she'll use a belt or a pocket scarf tie around her neck, for instance, a coiffed hairstyle, minimal makeup, carefree, but it's sexy, right? She's sexy in her own way. And she's had countless public relationships with men like Al Pacino, for instance. So it's not about showing skin, right? It's about that energy that you give off that will attract a man to you, because that man is seeing your divine essence and not necessarily what you're wearing. I would say another public figure is Rihanna. She is well known as a style icon. She really focuses on originality. She takes into account trends, but she's not a slave to it. I think she resonates with different eras of fashion. She goes for oversized outerwear, but has that bit of nostalgia, like 50s inspired coats, fur coats, for instance. Her choice of clothing is part masculine and part feminine. Beautiful combination of both, right? But a little bit of edge, her street inspired style, right? When it comes to her baggy, boxy denim paired with some Timberlands or a sneaker, but then softens it up with maybe some pearl jewelry, big hair, bold lip, lots of color, a mix of different prints. So I think that's what makes her style so unique and so addictive to the public eye, and why she's so iconic in her own way. But she, again, is another woman who is very strategic in how she presents her sexuality. It's more sensual and less overtly sexual. There is a difference. I would say if we go on a whole different spectrum of female sexuality, think of Sexy Red. Sexy Red is known for her unapologetic, sexualized presentation of herself, right? When it comes to her makeup, her hairstyles, her skimpier outfits on stage, in public appearances, even her lip gloss line, right? The names of each of the colors represent very provocative and highly sexualized words, right? And that's how she wants to market herself. I sense that's truly what she resonates with, genuinely how she wants to look, how she wants to feel, what she wants to communicate to the world about herself. It's evident that she's very confident in her sexuality, showing lots of skin, right? Every asset that she finds desirable within herself, she is not afraid to show that off. But there's a difference in showing it off for the validation of a man and showing it off for validating yourself. If you can honestly look yourself in the mirror and be completely confident in what you look like and what you're presenting to the world, then that's authentic to you. So I really wanted to just tap into the importance of dressing for yourself and not how you feel the world wants to see. I feel like you have more power than you realize. We've been so conditioned into being in this box of conformity, and it's time to step out of that box and start redefining who we are and presenting ourselves in a way that feels like us, that feels true, that feels authentic. Through my personal journey, I had an experience where I was caught in the rain. I just got my hair done. It was silky straight. And obviously, when it got caught in the rain, it was in its natural state. That was the moment I realized, you know what? I love my natural hair. And I'm going to embrace it and style it in the way I want and feel sexy doing it, especially as a Black woman. Natural hair, I think, is being celebrated, but there's still some stigma around the desirability, right? Getting that validation from others to make you feel like your true self and your natural coils are beautiful. And they are beautiful, right? My hair is natural and I feel sexy. I feel confident. And my makeup is natural, very minimal, but I feel vibrant, sensual. I feel happy, and I don't feel like showing skin. Showing my skin does not equal being sexy. You can be sexy with a button down. Maybe it's in a lace material, maybe it's in silk, right? That injects a little bit of that sexuality, but you're not showing your breasts. You're not showing anything that you don't feel comfortable with. You are presenting yourself the way you want to be presented. I am a style consultant, founder and CEO of A'LA CURATE, and I am all about empowering women to be the best version of themselves and tap into their divine femininity and authenticity through their wardrobe. Being brave and courageous enough to show up and present themselves in a way that resonates with them, regardless of outside influences. It really connects with my personal journey as a woman and finding what works with me and what I resonate in life and how I want to look and present myself. And I want to really help other women do the same, because we are beautiful and sexual and sensual the way we are and how we choose to project that to the world. And it's not going to be how people want us to look and feel and present. It's how we want to look. Would love to hear from you women out there who have maybe resonated with this message, anyone who's felt controlled, stifled, undesirable from the male gaze and societal expectations. I want this to be an open platform to talk and see how we can flip the script and redefine what sexuality is on our own terms. If you are interested in my services and being able to style and dress with intention and authenticity, please feel free to book a consultation with me. My website and information is in the description box. Have a wonderful day, ladies.